today, I'm pleased to say that we have the Manager of Employee Benefits, Lisa White, with us. Lisa, would you say hello to the class?
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa White. I'm the Manager of Employee Benefits here at Cal State San Bernardino. I've been here more than 17 years, and when I started I came from private industry and learned the entire CSU system. We have a very unique system for our benefits.
Yes, an excellent one. And so you have a lot to tell us about in a short amount of time. So let's get started, Lisa. Would you tell us a little bit about some of your core benefits, starting with medical?
Of course, Monty. Of course, medical benefits are very important for everyone, especially with the Affordable Care Act. We do offer a variety of health maintenance organizations as well as preferred provider organizations, otherwise known as HMOs and PPOs. The majority of families tend to choose an HMO because they don't have a deductible and they have very little out-of-pocket costs, versus a PPO plan that you do normally have at least a $500 deductible with additional percentages of copays that can vary from 10 to 40% depending on what you're having done. If you're hospitalized, that can be a large bill. Of course, we also offer 2 different dental plans.
Before you leave that, so Kaiser Permanente is one example. Is that an HMO or a PPO?
Kaiser is an HMO, and a big difference between HMOs and PPOs is you must pick a primary care provider with an HMO. PPOs, you tend to have more flexibility in going to one of their doctors without getting what's called a referral.
Excellent. Useful. I'm sorry. So
No.
go ahead.
So, like I was saying, most families opt for an HMO because there are less out-of-pocket costs. Even though you have to have that primary care doctor, it's worth it to have to go see that doctor and get a referral to see a specialist, because then you don't have that extra deductible or out-of-pocket cost.
Yeah, as an example, I am a Kaiser person. I'm very pleased with it. And I'm sort of fussy, so if I didn't think I got really good service, I would go to a PPO, pay the extra money, but it is a lot of money, so I do choose the HMO.
And that is always an individual's choice. I have people that love HMOs, and I have people that love PPOs.
Yes, of course.
So it can vary by an individual, and I get asked that question, well, which ones should I choose? And I said, it's your choice. Yes. But just know that if you're choosing a PPO, that you will have more out of pocket.
Right, considerably more. Well, let's go on through some of the other core benefits.
Well, we do offer 2 different dental plans. One is a PPO, one is an HMO. They're both employer paid with the CSU. We also have a vision plan through VSP that is also employer paid. Depending on the bargaining unit that you may be in, you may have a life insurance policy that's employer paid, as well as a disability benefit as well. We do have something called Flex Cash, which if you have other medical and or dental benefits not within the CSU and not with CalPERS, then we will pay you $128 a month to not have medical insurance with us, or $12 a month to not have dental.
What if my significant other was under another very good medical plan? Could I opt for that if I were covered by their plan?
Yes, you could.
So I would get the $128 plus $12 if I was under someone else's plan.
Correct. And it's not through Medicare, Medi-Cal, or the Affordable Care Act.
Good.
Has to be through an employer-sponsored plan.
Good.
So, shall we go on to
Yes.
retirement?
Oh yes. Let's do retirement. That's the other big one. Very, very big, very important. How does that work here?
Well, we have CalPERS retirement if you're eligible through employment. There are some specifications. You have to be in a long-term employment, meaning more than 6 months and a day or more. For faculty, that means usually an academic year, half-time or more. And our CalPERS formula right now is 2% at 62. And what that means is that
That's primarily for staff, correct?
that's for everybody that's hired here after January 1, 2013.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
That was part of Governor Brown's reform
Okay.
that he did.
Yes.
So say, for instance, you are hired after that date, January 1, 2013, and you're working here full-time, and you decide to make us a lifelong career, say 30 years. At age 62, you could retire and get 2% for every service credit year you've worked. And that's full-time service credit. So if you're only working part-time, it can take you longer to accrue your service credit.
So if you had been working here, you retired at 62 and you'd been working here for 30 years, that would be 60% of your highest salary.
2% at 62, 30 years, yes, that's correct. And it's over the last 3 years of your highest salary. And then we also pay into Social Security as well. So you can also count, as long as you have your 40 credits with Social Security, then you can also rely, hopefully, on receiving those Social Security benefits too.
So the average person who's been here for a long time would probably find that that would be about a third of their income, give or take. And so what that would end up meaning is that between the Social Security and their retirement here, they would essentially be having close to 100%. Many people would have close to 100%. Would not be uncommon. Some people would have under, some people might have under, but 100% would be typical.
I wouldn't say typical, but I'd say
Not
between 60 and 80% is a rough estimate
Yeah.
between the two. And of course, if your spouse was also covered by Social Security, you can also
yeah, of
count on
course.
that as well. But
But we should probably move on now to
Yes.
some of the other voluntary benefits.
we have a number of voluntary benefits that means that you have the option of buying them or not. It's up to you. But we do offer additional ways to purchase life insurance for you and your family, your dependents. We have disability insurance. We have accidental death and dismemberment insurance. We have a critical illness plan through AFLAC, which will pay you a wellness benefit if you're well and go see your doctor and have some testing done. They'll actually pay you up to $100 a year to have a blood work done with your doctor. Met Legal is a prepaid legal plan which allows you access to over 11,000 attorneys across the United States. And for a small price per month, you have access to go in for everything from trusts and wills to real estate matters, adoption. It covers basically just about any type of legal process. We have also additional ways to save for retirement. So if you want to put aside more money to have that extra bucket out there for retirement, there's a 401k plan, a 457, as well as a 403b plan. And we also have something called health care reimbursement and dependent care reimbursement account, which allows you to put aside pre-tax money to pay for things like your copay for your medical plan. Say you have a $15 office visit copay. You put aside $40 a month pre-taxed. When you go in to see the doctor, you submit that as a claim and they'll reimburse you. The beauty is it's pre-tax money, not after-tax money. And of course we have our EAP, Employee Assistance Program, which is
Not voluntary.
not voluntary. It's free though. And you have the ability to go and talk to somebody should you need to for that type of assistance.
And do we occasionally have people who are assigned to go to the EAP on this campus? Do we use it in that way?
We offer it first as an option. If they call us and say, hey, I need assistance, we will first offer that and say, hey, we have this program. It's a great resource. They have online as well as phone. You can go in person, and it's free.
But what I'm saying is that's one function of an EAP? I'm not familiar with it. I should be. Do you know of cases on this campus where people have been, as a part of their treatment plan, been required to go to the EAP?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so we just use it as a support service,
Yes.
not as a part of a potentially corrective action system.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else in terms of, I mean, I'm sure that there are other things on the list, but any other big benefits or options that you can think of?
Oh, medical is, I think, the biggest one of all, and dental comes in a close second.
And then my final question would be, and how are our benefits perceived by the employees? Do they think they're stingy? Do they think they're okay? Do they think they're pretty good? What would you say the average perception is about our employments at this university, are the benefits?
I think the majority of our employees are understanding that we have a very generous package, and that compared to what we pay monthly for our medical is very small compared to a lot of other state agencies or private companies out
Especially
there.
private companies.
Yes.
Increasingly, yes.
You can have a family under an HMO plan and have 0 monthly contribution. All you're paying is your $15 office copay. Where you go to, say, a city or state agency other than CSU, and you may be paying $200 to $300 per month for a family to have medical coverage.
Yeah. It's very expensive. And one other thing with the retirement, so there are defined benefits and defined contribution. We're a defined contribution, obviously.
Yes, we are.
And so that's increasingly uncommon across the United States. So I would think that would be a big deal for a lot of people at the institution. Is that what you generally find, is that people are very appreciative of the defined contribution plan?
I think they are, and because it is in the minority out there as far as retirement
And you can count
plans.
on it. You know,
Yes.
you're not guessing.
Right.
You know exactly. You can, for planning purposes.
Correct.
It really, really helps the employee a lot.
It does, and knowing also with the CalPERS retirement that medical and the basic dental continue into retirement, which is highly unheard of
Yes.
in today's society.
Yes,
So
that was my final question, and you've already gotten that, which is, yes, it's very unusual to have that that benefit continue into retirement.
yes,
So, Lisa, I want to thank you very, very much for really quite a comprehensive review of the different benefits that we have at this campus. I'm sure that we probably haven't covered every single one. There are so many, but I think this gives students a really good sense of one organization's benefits and the way it works in our particular system. So on behalf of our virtual students, I want to thank you very much.
You're
for
welcome.
this. And really, we appreciate it very much for this class and hopefully for future classes as well. Thank you.